welcome to a new week of What's for Dinner. We're gonna do a small little meal prep and then I will go straight into what's for dinner each night of the week. I hope you will get some ideas or some encouragement out of this. Let's just jump right into it, y'all. Hey y'all, hey, I just don't even know what to say. Welcome to my kitchen. I've done some what's for dinner videos, but I haven't done a meal prep in forever. This is just gonna be a mini meal prep in our what's for dinner video, but I wanted to be able to just like talk to y'all and y'all see me. Like, one of the things I love about filming my meal preps is that I feel like I'm talking with y'all, where when I film my what's for dinners, I'm mainly doing it by myself, and so I'm holding the camera over. So that's the difference, but it feels so strange. So welcome to my kitchen. We are going to do a little mini meal prep. Like I said, we're gonna put the hair up so we don't get hair in our food, and I probably should put an apron on, but I don't have one. So we are going to just break up some chicken. We're gonna cut up some chicken, and then we're gonna make a buffalo chicken dip. We're gonna make coleslaw. If you're an OG, you probably know how I make my coleslaw and my buffalo chicken, but I haven't filmed it in a while, so we're gonna film it. And then we're also gonna make some tomato sauce in the Instant Pot. I think that's the plan for a meal prep, and then the rest of the week we will just make things each evening, and I will film all of that as well for you so that you can see what we are eating. We're doing a pantry challenge where we're not spending very much per week on food. I'm trying to spend like $25 to $50 max per week, and then clearing out our fridge, freezer, and pantry. So I wanted to show you how I'm doing that by what we're eating every single day. So I got a big pack of family size pack of chicken that was also on a extra sale because it needs to be cut up and frozen, or it needs to be used or frozen. So I was able to get a really good deal. So what I'm gonna do is trim this up. Whenever I buy chicken, if it's not fully pasture raised, which I don't know about y'all, but I can never find, and if I do find it, it's astronomically over my budget. So for chicken, I do lean only. I get all the fat off of it that I can. I use chicken breast or chicken wings. The GMO corns and soys and the feed that the chickens are given, all of that, all of the bad parts of that are in the fat. All right, so with the chicken, what I do is put it in Ziploc bags. You want to label it and date it. And I try and make it as flat as possible, get all of the air out, and also the flatter it is, the less time it needs to thaw. I'm gonna make my buffalo chicken dip. This buffalo chicken dip is probably one of the favorite recipes in my Southern Keto Kitchen cookbook. I wanted to show y'all my cookbook real quickly because I haven't really talked about it or shown it in quite a while. But it's called My Southern Keto Kitchen. There's me with my favorite sunflowers, easy keto recipes. And I thought I would show you the beginning a little bit. Well, in the beginning, I show you like a lot of my essentials and things that I can't live without in my kitchen. But this is an ebook, so you can print it out like this, like I did, or you can just have it on your phone. But I wanted to kind of show you what is in it. So, appetizers, Thai meatballs, jalapeno poppers, armadillo eggs, pimento cheese, sausage and cheddar dip, buffalo dip. The buffalo dip is what we made today, and some other things. Over here we've got some soups. There's some really, really good soups in this cookbook, y'all. Got some casseroles. Every Southern mama has to have a cookbook full of casseroles, right? So all of these are all family approved. Everything in here is family approved. You would not serve it to someone and them not like it and think it's keto. I promise. I promise. Then we've got some sauces and marinades. So that's what it looks like. This is kind of how I lay it out. All of the pages look like this, where I give you your ingredients, all of your nutrition and macros, your directions, and sometimes there's like tips or tricks at the bottom. And there's the marinara sauce that we're making right now, y'all. But anyways, it's not expensive. It's only $12, and it's got so many good recipes. So if you're interested, it's down below. I just hadn't talked about it in a while, so I thought I would kind of bring it up. It's always linked down below in the description. We also have a low carb cocktail book that's always linked down below in the description. And we just started a new Time to Drink low carb cocktail channel. We're working on going ahead and taking all of our Time to Drink episodes that were on this channel and moving them to that channel. So that will be a new channel, and I would really appreciate it if y'all would go down below and go to the Time to Drink channel and subscribe. We need to start a subscriber base there, y'all. Okay, so for buffalo chicken dip, it's super simple. I do 1 thing of cream cheese, 1 block, 8 ounces of cream cheese, and then I do a mixture of mayonnaise and sour cream. I use about 1/4 cup of mayonnaise and 1/4 cup of sour cream is what I generally do. You could do all mayonnaise or all sour cream. This is a pretty forgiving recipe, but to get the very best flavor profile, this is what I have found from all of my times of making this. This is probably my family's favorite dish in that cookbook, y'all. So I've got the mayonnaise and that in here. Now we're gonna go in with some hot sauce, any hot sauce that you like. We like to use Frank's. It's mild. It gives the flavor while not making it spicy at all. It just gives the hot sauce flavor. So that's what we use. And then we're gonna go in with some ranch seasoning. I prefer like a buttermilk ranch, about 1 tablespoon to 2 tablespoons, depending on how much flavor you want. And generally I use fresh Jax Spices, but they still have not come out with a ranch, y'all. I really want them to come out with a ranch. But the best thing I found ingredient wise is this ranch from McCormick 3-in-1 seasoning dip and salad dressing. It says even on the front, clean and simple ingredients. There's no MSG, no artificial flavors added. It's gluten-free. It doesn't have any of the additives that a lot of ranches do. A lot of ranches have really yucky ingredients, so I really like this one. And then we add, you could do rotisserie chicken, you could cook up your own chicken and shred it, but generally what I do is the Kirkland, this premium chunk chicken breast. I use 2 of these cans and put it in. I don't usually cook this. I usually keep it cold, and then as they want to eat it, they heat up individual portions in the microwave. But I've also turned this into a full-on meal by combining, I'll get 2 frozen bags of cauliflower, go ahead and cook them in the microwave, throw them in here, and then bake it like I said, and it becomes a full buffalo casserole meal, a full dinner. I have never served it to anyone who did not love it. There we go, that is done. And now we're gonna make some coleslaw, and then we will make the tomato sauce. I don't know if this bowl's gonna work. We shall see. So, I'm gonna go about 1 tablespoon of this Thai spice. Oh my gosh, that smells so good. And then I'm gonna add some cayenne to this because Jason really likes it spicy. So we're just going with some cayenne. And then when he eats it, when he tops it, I'm not gonna add salt because he likes to top it with this Fresh Jax Ghost Pepper Sea Salt. This stuff is delicious, but it definitely packs a punch. So I'm not gonna add this to it, but when he eats it, he'll put it on top. So I just wanted to show y'all that. And then I put in about 1 tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of vinegar. We're gonna add a little bit of sweetener just to combat the heat and the acid. You can totally leave the sweetener out if you want, but I'm using some Lakanto powdered. I like the powdered because it dissolves really well. And then I'm gonna go in with some mayonnaise. I suggest using an avocado oil mayonnaise or a coconut oil mayonnaise. You don't want this either, baby girl. Hazel has been begging her mama for the food today. You love when I meal prep, huh? I haven't even dropped any cheese. I haven't even dropped anything for you. All right. All right, y'all, I am doing some meal prep and recording, and I needed to take a little break, so I'm having a little Perfect Keto break. It's a Perfect Keto bar, and it's a new flavor. Y'all, there's some new flavors coming of Perfect Keto bars. This one's pretty tasty. I wasn't sure what I was gonna think, but I'm really liking it. So I'm gonna finish drinking all of my water that I've been drinking and have a Perfect Keto bar break, and then go back into doing a little bit more meal prep. All right, we are gonna go ahead and make some tomato sauce now. This is super easy. So what I usually do is I do 4 of this 28-ounce can of the Italian peeled tomatoes. These are San Marzano tomatoes. I really enjoy these. And then 1 can of this whatever kind of tomato paste you get. Then I usually use mainly this fresh Jax Italian seasoning, but as you can see, it's almost completely gone. So I'm gonna probably add some basil, some parsley, some oregano. First thing I'm gonna do is get this on saute. All right, so first step is just 1 small onion. I had a small onion that was frozen, so I'm just gonna get that in here. And then however much garlic you want, I do about 2 tablespoons. And we're gonna let this saute down in some avocado oil until it gets a little bit soft. It doesn't have to get completely soft because we are pressurizing this, so it will get soft in the end. But that's where we're gonna start. Next, we're gonna add tomato paste, and I like to cook this tomato paste out a little bit. So I'm gonna get this all stirred around in the bottom of this pot and let the tomato paste cook out a little bit, and then it'll be time to just dump every other ingredient in and get it going. At this point, if you wanted to add red wine, if you like to have a red wine tomato sauce, you could add 1/4 to 1/2 cup of red wine and deglaze the bottom of the pan. But we are just gonna go ahead and dump in 4 cans of tomatoes. So we've got this 45 minutes at high pressure. So we're gonna just load up everything in here, stir it, and put the top on. So here's the marinara sauce in my cookbook. See, I used 4 cans of those whole tomatoes, and it's fine that it's whole because in the end we're gonna use an immersion blender and blend it all up. You could just use tomato sauce if you wanted. And then I usually use, see here, 2 tablespoons of fresh Jax Italian seasoning and 2 tablespoons of Lecanto Monk Fruit Classic sweetener. We are just gonna use, what I've put in here is just about 2 tablespoons worth of various Italian seasonings because I did not have enough of just the plain Italian seasoning. Dump in, I've only got 1 can of tomatoes in here so far. I'm also gonna dump in 2 bay leaves, and we're also going to dump in all 3 of these Parmesan cheese rinds. And we've already set this here. So I have it on the soup setting, but it doesn't really matter as long as it's on high pressure. And then I went up to the time, so I could have just used manual really. So here's the tomato sauce when it's finished. It basically looks like it did when it started, I know. But what we're gonna do is fish out the Parmesan rinds and fish out the bay leaves. And then we're going to immersion blend this. Make sure you get those bay leaves out. And if there's any Parmesan rind left, fish those out as well. Sometimes those totally disintegrate, but sometimes they don't. It just kind of depends on how thick it is. I will link this one down below from Amazon. Immersion blenders are not expensive and they are so nice to have, as well as the Instant Pot. Instant Pots are a little pricier, but you could watch for them to go on sale. But I have a 6 quart and an 8 quart. So this product and this product I use on the regular, like really all the time. Highly recommend both. For dinner tonight, this is frozen chicken breasts that had been marinated in 2 different marinades. And I was just gonna have Jason grill this, and that was gonna be dinner, and then we'd have leftovers. But he is not gonna be home for a little while, and I'm really hungry, and I'm kind of craving like fried rice. So I'm gonna have this organic cauliflower stir fry. I'm gonna go ahead and make this up. I get this at Costco, so I'm gonna do 1 packet of one of these. I took out a few pieces of the Asian marinated chicken and cut it up into small pieces, and I'm gonna make like a chicken fried rice. I'm gonna eat that, and then I'll have leftovers of this for a couple days for myself probably, and then Jason can still grill this for dinner for the rest of the family, and I'll just do like a roasted veggie or something like that on the side for them. That is what dinner's plan is gonna be tonight on Sunday. So I am just putting some bacon fat in the bottom of my pan. You could use butter, ghee, avocado oil, beef tallow, whatever kind of fat you want. I just kind of think the bacon fat's gonna give it some good flavor. And then I went ahead and chopped up all of this marinated chicken. I did add some more salt and pepper to it. And I am just going to, as soon as this gets nice and hot, we're gonna brown this up. And that will be the first step to making our quick chicken cauliflower fried rice. So I just got all of this in here, and I'm gonna brown it really well on one side before I turn it. I'm gonna get some really good caramelization and color on there. So I'm just gonna let it sit until it is mostly cooked through, and then I'll flip. All right, so this is mainly cooked on one side, so we're just gonna flip it around a little bit and get it cooked on the other side. So The spices that are in this are, I marinated in like coconut aminos and rice wine vinegar and a Thai spice from Fresh Jax. And then I just added some more salt and pepper before I put it in here with the bacon fat. And this is just about done. We are going to take this out here in a second, and then we will build the next layer of flavor. Alright, so we're just going to dump in our cauliflower. Ooh. And get this stirred around, and I'll probably turn it down to about a medium, and we'll kind of let this cook some, and then we will move. I'm just going to turn this down to probably like a medium low and let this cook out some, and once it's all thawed and cooked really nicely, then we'll move on to the next step, which is adding in some fried egg, and then adding our chicken back in and adding some sauce. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is add 2 egg yolks. You could add however much you want, and we're going to just stir that in with all of the rice cauliflower. I keep saying rice, it's cauliflower. The riced cauliflower. And that just kind of coats it really nicely, and I like to do that separate from the egg white. It just kind of gives a nice coating on the fried rice or the fried cauliflower, and I just like how that tastes. So I'm going to do that. Now I'm going to move everything out of the center. Going to add our egg whites right to the middle. Get it all mixed together. Alright, so my sauce lineup, I'm going to do a little bit of coconut aminos, a little bit of rice wine vinegar, a little bit of fish sauce, and then I will end it with a little bit of sesame. If you like spicy, you could definitely add some red chili paste to this. Hot. See how this tastes. That hits the spot. That is what I was craving. Caroline and Newt had Chinese last night and it made me crave it, so this is going to be perfect. For dinner tonight, we made chicken bog. This is my first time ever making chicken bog. It's a southern staple dish, and I have never made it, and it turned out really, really well. Myself and my son and his girlfriend were just enjoying our time in the kitchen, and I totally forgot to bring out the camera, y'all. But this is what's for dinner this night. Obviously, it is not low carb. If you wanted to turn this into low carb, I could have done a version with cauli rice. Obviously would not be the same. Yeah, this is full of rice, definitely not low carb, but definitely a very, very southern comfort food. We're having chicken bog. Yes, that is rice, and no, I shouldn't be eating the rice, but I'm gonna eat the sausage and the chicken and try and avoid most of the rice. But this is what we had for dinner tonight, and I decided I was gonna eat a little bit of it. So just have my little tiny bowl, and if I'm still hungry, I'll make something else. Alright, y'all, we are going to throw dinner together for tonight. I'm just doing super simple meatballs and marinara sauce. I made my marinara sauce in meal prep. I think you saw that already in this. Oh, Jason turned the lights on. You can see me now. I made the marinara sauce earlier in the week, so we are just going to put frozen meatballs that were previously made, and this is going to be dinner tonight. Alright, so we're going to use my favorite Crockpot. This is an all-clad, and the reason I absolutely love this one is this inner liner, this black liner, you can pull out of here and put it on the stovetop, so it makes one-pot Crockpot meals super, super easy. I will link it down below, but this is my homemade marinara sauce, and I'm just going to put probably 1.5 jars in here and let it heat up on low for a couple hours, and then I can eat it over miracle noodles or heart of palm noodles or spaghetti squash or zucchini spirals, and the kids can eat it over pasta. So it makes a really, really easy meal, and we'll probably have Caesar salad on the side. Cover it up, turn it on, and I'm gonna do low. So we'll set it for 4 hours, but I'm sure it'll be done before that. Okay, y'all, I forgot to show you this, but you don't really need to see me do this to understand. I am not gonna be eating this because tomato sauce has been bothering me lately. Like the red acid type things have been bothering my stomach, so I'm making this just for the family. I could have totally eaten my low carb tomato sauce and a few meatballs, but I decided not to. So what I did was I took this quart jar that my tomato sauce was in, I filled it up halfway and added the water, and then I added an entire package of pasta, whatever kind of pasta you want, and I'm gonna put it in there. I stirred it, and I'm gonna turn it to high. And then in about half an hour, I'll come check it. I'm pretty sure it'll be completely done. And then that way I don't have to stand over here on the stovetop and make pasta. I know that sounds like ridiculous, but I'm having a bad fibro day, y'all, and standing and monitoring pasta is more than I can handle tonight, but I don't want to order out. So we're doing this method, and then I have some Caesar salads in the fridge. I will pull those out and make them. We'll just make both of these Caesar salads. The family will be happy, and yes, there's some inflammatory oils in the dressing. I will toss the croutons, but I may just not eat this either because I'm trying so hard to be clean, y'all. And I could make my own Caesar dressing, but again, it's just not gonna happen today with my pain level, but I feel like I'm still gonna feed my family really well. So that is our plan for dinner tonight. For dinner tonight, it's like a pantry special. This was not on my list of things to make, but I had this chicken that is in small pieces. Originally I was gonna make chicken nuggets with it, but I decided to do a one pot meal. So we've got our chicken. I had some peppers that I need to use. I'll probably just use like a half of this. I cut up an onion into slices, and I may use these mushroom pieces because I've got this can that I could use. And then I decided to just kind of go with a spicy all-purpose theme, but I used a little bit of rosemary lemon because I'm probably going to hit it with a little bit of lemon juice later, a little bit of garlic, and a little bit of onion. So that's what I have in here. If you are new to me, Fresh Jax is my absolute favorite spices. They're all organic and they have no filler ingredients. It's a local family company in Jacksonville, Florida, and I feel like their spices elevate my food to a whole nother level. And also when you buy from them, they also give a portion of everything to children that are hungry and need, and they have given so many free meals, y'all, in their area. So I just really like to support them and share them with y'all. I always have them linked down below if you would like to get a discount to start trying them. They have smaller sizes or these big sizes. Anyways, I've poured that into here, and I think what we're gonna do is just add this seasoning into this bag, stir it all around, and then start by frying up the chicken. This is not a meal that I've made before. This is just something we're formulating off the top of our head because we're in a pantry challenge and we're trying to use up some ingredients. I really was planning to do sheet pan fajitas with this, but I just decided to use some of these, so we'll see what we end up with. Let's do it. All right, heating up some avocado oil over a pretty high heat over here, and now we're just going to take our seasoning, dump it in this Ziploc bag, and then we're just gonna shake this, close it, and shake it all around till everything is well coated. You also could add a little bit of like an almond flour or some kind of flour if you wanted to coat this a little bit more, but I think we're gonna skip that. Actually, we're not gonna skip that. Trim Healthy Baking Blend is my favorite flour, low carb flour option. So we're gonna do a couple tablespoons, probably, let's say for this amount we'll do 3. So this is gonna help give the chicken like a coating. You also could use my keto crumbs, and we may actually add a little bit of that in too. I'm gonna shake this up and see where we are. Okay, in this bag I have my keto crumbs. These are in my cookbook. My Southern Keto Kitchen cookbook is always available down below, and basically it is like my breadcrumb replacement. So I'm gonna do 3 tablespoons of this as well. Here's what we're looking like right now. I just wanna get a little bit more of a coating on there. So here's what we have going. We used our seasoning, everything is fully seasoned, and we used 3 tablespoons of this and 3 tablespoons of this. You could use almond flour or some coconut flour. This is by far my favorite. I think it's worth buying. You can get it at trimhealthymama.com, and they have run sales all the time, but this by far is my favorite low carb flour to work with. Let's see. This is my janky way of saving things. So here we go. There's a screenshot if you want to screenshot it, and then here is what's in it. It's lower carb than just using straight almond flour, and I just like my results better. And then of course these are my keto crumbs. So we've got our avocado oil really hot. The next thing we want to do is cook these in stages. You don't want to overcrowd your pan. If you overcrowd your pan, you'll steam it and you won't get the good crusty exterior that you want. Turning this way down because we don't want to burn our vegetables. And we're going to get this all stirred around and let this start to cook. We want to get these nice and soft and translucent. And then over here I have some chicken broth sitting. I did not have any, but I have this Lono Life Keto Chicken Keto Broth. This has 10 grams of protein, 5 grams of fat. I like to keep these as backup, so if I don't have any of my own that I've homemade, they're in my pantry. And as we're doing a pantry clean out, it made sense to use this. Alright, so these are starting to get really soft. So I'm going to go ahead and add some garlic. Ideally you would use fresh garlic that you just cut up, which I do have over there, but I'm trying to use up what's in the fridge. If you don't like things to have any spice at all, when I made this and I showed you the spice combination, instead of the spicy all-purpose, you could have just used just like seasoning salt. You could have just done like onion powder, garlic powder. You could have used a Greek seasoning, whatever you want. Don't feel locked down to the seasoning. You can make this dish a million different flavors just by changing seasoning. I like Fresh Jax Spicy all-purpose because it gives a nice spice without being overly spicy, in my opinion. But I know that doesn't float everybody's boat, so I just wanted to make sure that I was talking about that. Garlic burns pretty easily, so when you put your garlic in, you want to get it to cook, but you want to be ready to start adding. Now, usually at this stage I would use some white wine to deglaze the pan, but like I said, I don't have any right now. I'm going to use some lemon juice, just about a tablespoon of lemon juice. Truthfully, there's not much to deglaze in this pan. Everything is pretty much off the bottom, but we're going to use that lemon juice, turn it up to about a medium, use that lemon juice and let it kind of cook down just a little bit. Some chicken broth. I'm going to add about half of a cup of chicken broth and bring this up to kind of a small simmer boil, like a low boil, and let it cook down, okay? We're trying to concentrate our flavors. So we're going to let this cook down to about half the amount that we see here. When that happens, we'll go ahead and add in a little bit. I would ideally heavy cream, but I have half and half, so I'm going to add probably a couple tablespoons of half and half just to make it a nice creamy sauce. Actually, I think I am going to go ahead and add these mushrooms because they just sound good to me, so I'm going to open this and add these now. Alright, you see how this is getting nice and bubbly? That's what we want. And then once it gets a little thicker, and there's about half this amount, that's when we'll add a little bit more, okay? Our chicken's in there. We're going to toss this around as well. Going in with probably, I'm going to say, 1/4 of a cup. The rest of that chicken broth. So we ended up with a whole cup of chicken broth. When it gets about half the amount of liquid, I'm going to turn it down to low and just let it simmer. If I feel like I want to thicken it up a little bit, at that point I can add a little bit of xanthan gum. I am planning to serve this with this zucchini. Oh my gosh, y'all, I just saw it said zucchini with marinara. Dang it. Ooh, I just put it in the microwave. I can take it out. I don't want marinara sauce with this. I thought this was just zucchini. All right. Oops. Okay, y'all, I have decided I am gonna add a little bit of xanthan gum. I'm gonna do about 1/4 of a teaspoon of xanthan gum. And when you add xanthan gum, it doesn't thicken immediately, but if you don't start stirring immediately, it'll form like a little ball right in the area where you put it, which is not what you want. So be prepared to be stirring, stirring, stirring. And then xanthan gum, as it starts to simmer, as it simmers, it will thicken up. So xanthan gum can taste super slimy if you use too much. So I highly, highly recommend starting with 1/8 to 1/4 teaspoon, depending on how much liquid you're thickening up, and then give it a good 5 minutes of stirring and simmering before you decide if you want more. Trust me, if you use too much, it's gonna taste like an oil slick and you will have ruined your entire meal. I promise. I have done that before. So this is gonna be more than enough to thicken it to the level that I want. I'm gonna serve this over cauli rice. You could serve it over, like, I think I already talked about that, but serve it over noodles or rice for your kids. That looks perfect, y'all. Yes. I'm actually not gonna have any cauli rice tonight because I had cauli rice with my lunch. So I am just gonna eat this just like this, and it is gonna be freaking delicious. After I pulled mine out, I just went ahead and put the rest of the cauli rice in here. It'll work great as leftovers this way with the cauli rice, and then the kids and Jason can just eat it tonight like this. I mean, I don't know if there'll be any leftovers or not, but if there's leftovers for me to eat this tomorrow, or any of us to eat this tomorrow, this will be a great way to eat it. All right, y'all, for dinner, stop laughing at me, y'all. Oh, I had really messed this up, so I'm starting over. Jason's laughing at me. For dinner tonight, I had planned to do lemon and capers fish, a barramundi. It takes me like 10 minutes to put together. This January challenge that we're doing, the pantry freezer challenge, I'm trying to just only use things from there. Got home and Jackson was like, oh, I had fish for lunch, and Caroline already had pork belly, and Jason ate before he went to soccer. So I had just gone to Trader Joe's to get a few things for me. So I'm gonna make a snacky dinner. So let me show you what I'm having. I used my air fryer and I fried up some pepperoni. I just did it on the air fryer. I think it was like 6 or 7 minutes, but they're real crispy. This is avocado tzatziki dip, and this is aged Gouda. I went ahead and cut it up and measured it in 1 ounce segments, and here is 1 ounce of that. So I'm gonna have 1 ounce of this aged Gouda, and these are really, really crispy. See, did you see that? And I'm gonna use these as a dip. I am getting ready to make dinner tonight. We're gonna have lemon fish and capers. Look at my kitchen, y'all. We're doing a time to drink episode. We have this new channel called Time to Drink. It used to be like an episode on my channel, and we made it its own channel, and we're doing a live tonight. So Jason's got all kinds of stuff set up. He's got all kinds of special drinks. So I'll have that channel linked below if you're interested in following us. We would love to have you come subscribe and hang out with us over on that channel. We've moved all the videos over there, so there's a whole library of Time to Drink low carb cocktail videos over there for y'all. So this is like a come together in 10-minute dishes. This is so easy. One of the reasons I love to cook fish is it's just so fast. So I put a couple tablespoons of butter and some avocado oil in a pan over like a medium-high heat, and we're gonna let that heat up while we season our fish. Now, you could do this a million different ways. If you weren't using the capers, you could use all kinds of seasoning on this. But since I'm using the capers, I'm pretty much just gonna do like salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder at the end. So I dried the fish off really well, and I'm just gonna use this seasoned salt and a little bit of garlic to go on seasoning. You don't ever want to overcrowd your pan, y'all. So I'm gonna do 3 pieces, and then I'll do 2 pieces in the next one. Putting this in seasoned side down. Now I'm gonna use a paper towel and dry the tops and put seasoning on the top portion. See how this is like a brown butter? That's what I want. That brown butter gives it a little bit of a nutty flavor, and I love that. This is on like a medium high. see how the white is starting to form around, so you know that it's starting to cook. We're gonna let that go even a little bit longer until the white sections come up a little bit more on all sides of our fish. See how it's starting to do there? We're gonna keep it like this. We're not touching it because we wanna get a really nice browning. And then when we're ready to flip it, we'll flip it and just let it finish cooking. But we're gonna do the majority of the cooking. I would say 3/4 of the cooking time is gonna be on this side. Oh my gosh. Woo! There we go. How good does that look? There we go. And we're gonna do the same thing. Let it be, not move. And then we'll take it off to the side plate while we do the other fish. Then we'll make our sauce. Pan sauce going. I just hit this with some chicken broth and some garlic. So we've got our pan sauce going. We're gonna let that cook down just a little bit, and then we will add our capers. Here we go with some capers. I love the flavor of briny capers, so I am totally just putting the brine in too. If you don't like the brine, that's fine. We've already put some lemon juice in, but I may put a tad bit more. I'll taste it in a minute. This is over like a medium heat. We're gonna let this kind of cook down a little bit so that we are concentrating our flavors. I'm putting my fish back in to the sauce. What's left of it, Andrew's already eaten 2 whole pieces just plain. He doesn't love capers. So we're gonna do this, and then I'm just gonna go in, kind of tilt my pan some and get this sauce. I may have used way too many capers, y'all. I may have gotten caper happy, so this is gonna be a little on the salty side, but the lemon tartness will combat it. Put it all the way down to low and cover it just for about 30 seconds to a minute to really let all of that sauce develop in with the fish, and then we'll be ready to eat. All right, y'all, here's our beautiful fish. Pretend that this is going onto a bed of cauli rice, but I forgot to make the cauli rice, so you know, just pretend. Pretend there's a beautiful bed of cauli rice under there, and then you just take some of your gravy and pour it right over the top, just like that. So good. I forgot to show y'all my plate. Oh, it's a mess. Before I started eating, this is freaking delicious. All right, y'all, thanks for hanging out with us. That was a What's for Dinner this week. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some ideas, and I will see you again next week for another What's for Dinner.